All this week, we've been hearing from people directly affected by what's been called the biggest scandal in NHS history. Thousands of patients in the 1970s and 80s were given blood products from abroad, some of which were contaminated with viruses like HIV and Hepatitis C. So far, almost 3,000 people have died. Now, a public inquiry has started to find out how that was allowed to happen. Tonight, Matt Merry from South London tells us how he was infected with HIV and Hepatitis C at just 8 years old.
It was a massive gamble giving us the factor VIII, and that's like playing Russian roulette with one empty chamber, and that's just absolutely shocking. Hey, my name's Matthew Merry. I'm a severe haemophiliac. That means my blood doesn't clot properly. You can't do stuff that normal kids do. You can't play games, you can't play rugby or football in case of bleeds into your joints or limbs. Factor VIII is a replacement protein that's injected into the veins. I've been receiving factor VIII injections since the late 1970s, and there was no warnings given about whether there might be any risks attached to this or anything. When my mum told me, I don't think it really went in. I remember that night crying myself to sleep because I knew HIV leads to AIDS and leads to death. And at the time, it was a death sentence. I failed my A-levels, I was just really turning up and, you know, going out with friends and smoking cannabis and going to raves and really just sort of trying to squeeze as much enjoyment out of life as possible before I died. When I was thinking about my future, I thought that if I did survive, then I knew there would be no chance of having children, and that upset me because I think I always wanted to have kids, and I knew it would be difficult to find someone to be able to trust, to have a girlfriend, to get married and just lead a normal life. It's a very sort of poignant year for me next year because my children will be, well, one of them will be the same age I was when I was infected. And to actually sort of see how young he is, and you know, that was me. I wasn't infected as a middle-aged man, I was infected as an 8-year-old boy. And that makes me so angry thinking back about what was done to me and how we were forgotten and basically told to go away and die. What I want the inquiry to do for me is provide accountability. I want to know who knew HIV and Hepatitis C was coming into the country, when it was coming into the country, and what they did, and specifically what they didn't do about it. I'm very positive about my future. I think I've come from a very dark place in my teens and very early 20s and sort of turned that around. So yeah, I've got everything to look forward to now.
Matt Merry there, and you can read much more about his story. Just head to bbc.co.uk/stories.